Hey everybody, and welcome back here to our Weymouth series on FM20. We are kicking off season number 6. We are kicking off our championship season, taking on Norwich City. Before we kick off the game though, we got plenty of things to go over. Tons of new players, tons of players that have left. So let's start off with that. Starting off with the first player to join our team, this is Les Payne. What an absolutely beautiful name that is. He joins us on a free transfer after being released by Chelsea. He is an 18-year-old midfielder, and he has a ton of potential. I'm very excited about Payne joining the team. He will be one of our starting midfielders this season. Very excited about him. And then next up, another player I'm very excited about. This is Michael Matland. He joins us from Inverness in Scotland. We pay like $150,000 for him, yes. He is a 19-year-old Scottish center back that already has 4-star current ability and potentially has 5-star potential ability. He has the professional personality, 16 determination. Matland could be our very first absolute star player. If we're not able to keep a hold of him, he's going to be sold for some big money. So either way, this is an absolutely huge signing for the club. He's on a 4-year deal with us, so we have plenty of time with him. And if a Premier League team comes, we're going to make some serious bank from this sell. He made 75 appearances in Scotland for Inverness, and he has 2 under-21 national team appearances. So extremely excited about Michael. Next up, we have another free transfer from a Premier League team, Arsenal this time. This is Sam Greenwood, who is a 22-year-old forward. He can play on the left, the right, or in center. And if you'll notice here, he has the preferred foot of either. So we have so much flexibility with Greenwood on where we want to play him. Greenwood, another young player with a lot of potential, and hopefully he will be able to see that with us. I expect him to get plenty of game time for us this season, so hopefully he will be able to develop nicely this season. Next up, another free transfer, and this time it is a 20-year-old center back from Manchester United. So we have 2 very young center backs that have joined our club, and both of them are going to be our starting center backs, and hopefully they will become pillars of our team for many, many seasons to come. I'd rate McKenna slightly less than Matland, but I still think he has a ton of potential to go a long way for us. And then next up, we have a backup goalkeeper. This is Will Dennis, who we picked up on a free transfer after he was released by Stevenage. Dennis is 24 years old, has 128 appearances in his professional career. So Dennis, he's not terrible, he's not great, but we needed a capable backup goalkeeper, so we got him in. Next up, we have Charlie Lacken, who joins us on a free transfer from Birmingham City. He spent last season on loan in Plymouth, where he made 34 appearances, got 2 goals for him. Total, he has 152 appearances in his career. Charlie is 25 years old and is a solid all-around midfielder. I think he can do a job for us this season. Next up is a free transfer. This is Will Volks, a 30-year-old Welsh midfielder. Spent last season with St Mirren in Scotland. Volks is a very experienced midfielder, 338 career appearances, has good leadership and determination. I think he will be a key piece for our team this season and help some of our younger guys. both on and off the pitch. He did pick up some food poisoning yesterday, so he's going to be on the bench for today, and I will probably not be playing him at all. He will be there for emergency backup. But yeah, if we look at his career stats here, he actually joins us from Birmingham. He spent last season on loan in Scotland. But plenty of Football League experience in the Championship, both in England and Scotland. He did make 5 appearances for the Welsh national team. So yeah, like I said, some good experience from Volks. Next up is young right back on loan from Aston Villa. This is Lawrence Vos. Not exactly sure how you pronounce that. We'll just go with Vos. But a player that will be our starting right back, at least to start off the season. We still have Jordan Thomas at right back, who will be battling for that starting position. But this is a very good young player, very good physical and mental attributes. His technicals still need a little bit of work, but I think Lawrence will have a great season for us. And if we look, he has made 4 appearances for Aston Villa, all in the Premier League, so he has gotten his feet wet a little bit. Next up, we have Josh Earl, who is left back, 25 years old, who joins us on a free transfer from Preston North End. Josh looks to be a very solid left back, and actually will be our starting left back. He bumps Matt Blake out of that position. Excited to see what Josh can do for us this season. Next up is a young 18-year-old midfielder, Alex Cesar. He joined us on a free transfer from Arsenal. He's definitely a player for the future. We've already sent him out on loan to National League side Barnet. But Alex has a lot of potential. He's made 5 senior appearances for the Guyanese national team. I expect that number to continue to grow through the seasons to come. And then our final signing is a player that you guys will all have heard of. This is Christian Benteke. He is now 33 years old. He was released by Bristol City, spent a part of the season on loan last year at Henk. But Benteke has a ton of experience, and thankfully this is FM and not real life, so we don't have to worry about that terrible form. He spent preseason on trial with us, and I was happy with his contributions. And as long as we can keep him healthy this season, I think he will do a very good job for us. He is only on a 1-year contract, so we don't have to worry about any long-term financial concerns about that. So those are the players that have joined the team. A ton of new faces, but I'm very excited about what we have built. We got some really good players, especially in defense. Matland and McKenna look to be extremely talented players. I'm excited to see what we can do with them. Players that have left, we did send 2 players out on loan. We already went over Cesar, but Joseph Aluwu has been sent out on loan to York. He's in his final year of his contract. I looked to sell him, but no one was interested in a transfer. So he goes to York on a season-long loan. They're paying his full wage, so he's not counting towards our wage budget at all. But if we switch over here to release players, there will be a big list of players that have left Weymouth. Starting off with Elliot Whitehouse. He made 83 appearances and got 22 goals in his 2 seasons with the club. I really liked Elliot Whitehouse. He was a key piece of our team for those 2 years. Last year was more coming in on rotation, at least in the second half of the season when we got Campbell in on loan. But Whitehouse was a really solid player for us. Hopefully he can get picked up by a team. He still has a good few years of his career left in him. I think he would be a very good pickup for a team looking for a midfielder. Then next up is Sam Shearing, who made 182 appearances and got 6 goals with his time with the Terras. He's already been picked up by Plymouth, but Sam was a very key piece of our team. Of course, we go back to the very beginning of our series. He started on loan with us, where he made 38 appearances on that initial season. He then went back to Bournemouth for the following season, where he didn't get any game time, obviously. His contract expired. We then picked him up on a free transfer, where he spent 3 seasons with the Terras and was a starter for most of it. Last season kind of was a split duty between starter and backup off the bench, but he still made 35 appearances for us in League One. So Sam Shearing will forever be a Terra. He's only 24 years old. He still has plenty of time left in the game, and hopefully he will be able to get a lot of game time with Plymouth. He is listed as a fringe player, so hopefully he can get into the starting lineup eventually. Next player that we have released is Stephen Duke McKenna. Spent 4 seasons with the Terras, made 93 appearances, getting 10 goals along the way. Stephen was mostly a backup player for us, but he did manage to get 93 appearances, and he stuck around for quite a few seasons. But yeah, you can see once we made it into League 2, his playing time greatly decreased, and he only made 17 appearances in the last 2 seasons. Hopefully he does get picked up by a team. He would be a fantastic player for a non-league team. He has a lot of versatility, can play anywhere on that right-hand side, and would be a very good inside forward on the left-hand side for a team looking to play that kind of style. Then a long-time backup goalie, Callum Ward, has been released on a free transfer. He made 95 appearances for the Terras. Callum Ward was, of course, a starter when we first took over, but then Miles Roberts came in and took his starting position. And then, of course, last season, he backed up Ryan Alsop. But our first 2 seasons, he was a starter for the team, and he wasn't terrible. He wasn't great, but we trusted him enough to keep him in the backup role for the last 3 seasons. He only made a handful of appearances, but he was a professional, and we wish him all the well with the rest of his career. He'd be a great non-league goalie. Funny enough, he's actually wanted by Bristol Rovers and Leicester. Definitely not non-league teams there, so looks like they want to see if they can help him with his potential. You guys do you. I'll leave you guys to that. But yeah, next up, we have James Clark, another long-time Terra who spent 4 seasons with the club, 122 appearances and 4 goals for the right back. Another player who has good ability for a lower league team. He would absolutely do a job for a non-league team. 22 years old, plenty of potential with him. You can see that he's wanted by a club already, so I'm sure he'll get picked up and do a job for whatever team is looking to pick up a right back. And then another player who had a lot of contribution to the Terras, this is Lucas DeFice. He made 131 appearances, got 11 goals. Didn't really make too many appearances in the last couple seasons. I take that back. He didn't make very many appearances last season. A lot of that was due to his injury problems last season. And so because of that, we made additions to our midfield throughout the season, which left Lucas on the outside looking in. But yeah, you can see there when he was with us in the National League, he basically played every single game and was a solid defensive midfielder for us. Definitely will get picked up by a non-league team. Yeah, you can see there, and he will be fantastic for them, I'm sure. Another player that had plenty of contribution to our team, Jack Sr. has left the club after a few seasons where he made 82 appearances and got 5 goals for us. Senior, just an all-around solid left back. Not a lot of yellows, but all very solid blue attributes. Could definitely do a job for a team still. Deshane Dalling, longtime member of the Terras as well. He made 157 appearances, got 29 goals. He was actually our vice captain, I think, for like the past 3 seasons as well. Deshane Dalling was definitely a player that helped us out greatly. Picked him up back on a free transfer from QPR 4 seasons ago, and he got himself 157 appearances. Even last season, he made 26 appearances while we were in League One. Yeah, you can see that he didn't have the most success, average rating of 6.59 and 6.56 the past 2 seasons, but he gave it his all every time he made it out onto the pitch, and that's the kind of spirit we are looking for in our players. You can see here he's wanted by some clubs. He will be a fantastic pickup by a lower league team. Has plenty of versatility. He's either-footed. Exactly the type of player you're looking for when you are a non-league team. Another player that was solid for us, Diaz Wright. 63 appearances, 6 goals for us from the midfield. Another player that found himself falling down the pecking order last season with our midfield additions. Diaz was a key player in getting us promoted from League 2. Yet again, another solid player who will be a great pickup by someone looking for a midfielder. And hopefully he does get picked up soon and goes on to still have a great career. Don't like to see one of my players get released and not get picked up and ends up retiring early. Something you never want to see. And then finally, the last player that has been released by us is Cameron Archer. What a legend Cameron Archer was for the Terras. 121 appearances and bagging in 55 goals for the Terras. He has already been picked up by Burton. Just what an absolute legend Cameron was. Let's just look at his career stats. We picked him up on a free transfer in the National League, and those first 2 seasons in the National League, he was absolutely on fire. He did better than a goal a game with us in those 2 seasons in the National League. Absolute beast of a player. Single-handedly fired us to promotion. Glad to see he's been picked up. Would have liked to see him get picked up by a team that would have used him as a starter. Don't think he's going to get a lot of playing time for League One side Burton. He is listed as a fringe player, but hopefully he can make some appearances off the bench and maybe get a few starts throughout the season. But Cameron Archer will forever hold a spot in our hearts here at Weymouth. So after going over that long list of players that have joined the club and have left the club, we can move on to our schedule view and look and see how we've gotten on through our preseason. We started it off with a good matchup against Premier League side Aston Villa, and we did a fantastic job of holding out for a 1-1 draw there. And then the rest of our games were all wins. Notable performances in those were against League 1 side AFC Wimbledon and League 2 side Plymouth. And our biggest win was an 11-0 victory over our affiliated club, Portland United. Yeah, Monteiro had 4 goals in that game, all in the first half. So we showed no mercy against poor Portland there. So the only other thing to go over before we kick off the season is our season preview. The media are projecting us to come bottom of the table. That's a bit harsh there, guys. They think the other two promoted teams will finish above us. Lincoln City, they think, will come 23rd, and Luton Town will come in 22nd. So not a lot of love for the promoted teams, and not a lot of love for the Terras. Of course, Lincoln City gained promotion with us from League 2 and League 1. We came above them both times in the past 2 seasons, and yet the media still thinks they will finish above us this season. That really hurts, guys. That really hurts. But finally, we are here, and we are ready to kick off our season against Norwich. We'll just go over our starting lineup. So in goal, we have last year's goalkeeper Ryan Alsop. At left back, we have newcomer Josh Earl. Our 2 center backs, both newcomers Matland and McKenna. Right back on loan, Lawrence Vos. Our midfield consists of Nnamdi Afabur, keeping his place in the starting lineup. Callum Holm, still with us this season. I renewed his loan. He will be our box-to-box midfielder today. Normally that would be Will Volks, but as I mentioned, he is on the bench due to food poisoning. Other midfielder is newcomer Les Payne. Our left inside forward is Benyu, and our right side is Montiero, and leading the line is Christian Benteke. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our opening game here. Okay, well, apparently we have to have at least one player that was trained by the club. So I guess that means Jack Cooper will be making the bench a lot this season. That's a bit of a surprise there. Did not know I needed that. Hopefully we can get some good youth intakes here coming up, because that's gonna essentially take up one of our bench spots with a not very good player. I'll just say that. Alright, the teams are out. We are about to kick off the championship season at home at the Bob Lucas Stadium. Come on, you Terras. Going to be a tough game against Norwich here today, but we do have an early corner. It's going to be whipped in by Home, and Christian Benteke fires it in there on his debut. What a start from the Terras, and what a debut from Christian Benteke, getting on the score sheet 15 minutes into the game. Lovely. So 20 minutes gone, we have a free kick in our own territory. Can we create an attack out of this? It's looking good early on. Benyu has it. Looking for his options. He plays it out to Montiero, who cuts inside. He gets off his shot, and the keeper kind of struggled with that shot, but we weren't able to follow that up. Stays at 1-0 for the Terras. Oh no, Matland has picked up a bruised thigh. He'll make it through to halftime. We might sub him off then. We'll keep an eye on that, but it's been a great first half for the Terras so far. See if we can continue that here. We are on the ball once again. Oh, it's turned over though by Vos. He gets back well. That's exactly what we want to see. Good determination by him to not give up on the play. He gets back and wins it back. It might lead to something here for the Terras. It does. Kundai Benyu fires it in there. It's 2-0 to the Terras. Les Payne with the assist on that one. That all started with Lawrence Vos getting back and working hard on defense. After making a mistake, he wins it back. It's now 2-0 to the Terras. Let's go. And we make it into halftime. And we are leading Norwich City here at the Bob Lucas Stadium 2-0. Absolutely wonderful first 45 minutes of our championship careers. So let's go back out there and continue off of that first half. Just keep our concentration up here, boys, and we will have a big 3 points, but we got to defend this free kick, and we don't. Billing heads home for Norwich City. Just 10 minutes into the second half, it has made things very interesting, as we only now have a 1-goal lead over Norwich. We're going to make a substitution here. We're going to bring on Matt Blake for Josh Earl. I think we're going to bring off Montiero here shortly. Not looking too good, but we have a corner. It's going to be whipped on by Home. He was looking for Benteke again, and Benteke does win the header, but it goes out for a goal kick. So we're going to make a substitution. We're going to bring on Greenwood here for Montiero. Give Greenwood a debut. Got 20 minutes here to impress. Oh no, it's a free kick for Norwich. Oh no! Billing follows up the rebound. Brian Alsop kind of let us down here. He'd made the save, but he lets the rebound fall in a very bad position, and we have blown a 2-goal lead here. It's a bit disappointing. So we're gonna make a substitution. We'll bring on Ekpatita here for Maitland. Give him a rest since he picked up that knock. So Ekpatita will come on for the last 15 minutes or so of this game. Let's see if we can push for a winner here. Let's not concede though. Oh, good job, Alsop. Collects that ball very well. And we're looking to create an attack here. Benyu is on the ball. He plays it out to Sam Greenwood, but it's intercepted by Billing, who has both goals, but Home wins it back. Can he get your cross in? He does. He picks out Benteke, and his shot is blocked by the defender. Oh, man. The action is heating up here. It's Norwich on the ball. They have a header. Thankfully, not able to keep that one down. It goes out for a goal kick, but that was a very dangerous play. And things end here 2-2. We had a 2-0 lead at halftime. Give up 2 second-half goals to fill up Billing, and Norwich come back and snatch a draw. We're going to leave it to our assistant here. Obviously, definitely disappointed. Obviously, we're disappointed that we gave up a 2-goal lead, but considering this is our very first game in the championship, we're projected to come bottom of the table. Norwich are a solid side, a well-established championship team. We got a draw, so can't say that we're too disappointed there. Am disappointed in Montiero 6.4. We're going to need to see more from you this season, or we will be seeing more of Sam Greenwood. Our opening game of our championship season and season 6 here on our Weymouth series. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and have been enjoying this series. I'm loving it here with Weymouth. Excited about the progress we have made. Excited about this season here. I'm hoping that we can grind out survival here this season. I feel like we've made some good additions to the team. And so if we can survive here, we will be getting a ton of money, at least compared to what we have been making from the championship TV revenue, which will lead to exciting times here with the Terras. We'll finally be able to start making some facility upgrades. We do currently have our training facilities being upgraded. It'll be set to be finished upgrading here come October. And it's either our first or second upgrade that we've been able to do for our training facilities. Definitely not more than 2. We just simply have not had any money to be able to afford these upgrades. They cost like $700,000 for this level, and they'll only increase the further you upgrade. But I think this episode has gone on long enough here, so we'll be ending it there. But make sure you leave the video a like if you have enjoyed this Season 6 kickoff. It really helps out the channel the more you like the videos. And if you guys are new around here, make sure you subscribe for more FM content going forward. The series is going to continue, and we still got our Journeyman series going alongside of this one. But until next time, it's been your Boyd147.